Good afternoon, good evening. This is the Townsend Finance Committee. We'll call the meeting to order at 6:03 p.m. This is August 7th. We're in Memorial Hall Meeting Room 2. Sorry, this time I got into the roll call attendance. Just voice while you're here in the room. I know. If you would, let me know by voice that you hear on the roll call. Yeah.
Jerome Bezique is here.
Carol Watts is present.
Pam Grant present.
Mary Jane Churchville here.
Don Lee present. 5 members present. We have a quorum. We can continue. This meeting is being recorded. It will be played back on the Comcast Channel 9 and possibly 8. Should have limited to that as we have the 2 active channels now, and it will be posted to the YouTube. At this point, there are people online. Is anybody else recording the meeting, or is it just the TCAM recording this meeting at this time? None being heard. We will continue, and nobody else is recording the meeting. This is really our first, our second meeting after the close of town meeting, which is the end of a session for Finance Committee. And so what I want to do is start and talk about the committee structure, chair, vice chair, secretary, and the assignments. But I wanted to start with a little statement from me, because we are approaching a year where I'm going to be traveling in away in November, in December, and I'm going to be away at the beginning of May. We have travel plans already. We're not going to be in the area, so I won't be here. With that said, I have a letter of resignation ready to hand in if you feel that I'm not going to be here enough to support the committee. And I wanted to at least start with that, because it's important that if we need somebody else, that I will submit the letter of resignation, so that you have a full-time member that's here at all times in the upcoming year. The term I'm in will expire in May of 2027, so it's about 2 years remaining on the term.
Well, let me ask you this, would you be willing to stay on the board as, I mean, you're great with numbers and all, but I understand that you're gonna be away, and I wish I was going too.
I can stay on, but with it and being the times that I thought it might be, will usually depend on me being chairperson and running meetings and things, that it might interfere with some of those. So, I could say vice chair, but it's kind of like, and then support, because there are.
Just a question.
Yeah.
If you're absent for a meeting, it automatically devolves on the vice chair, correct?
Correct.
So that can happen. Hopefully, by the time November rolls around, we have some idea where we're going as far as getting the information needed for the following year's budget.
Yeah.
And then you have November, have November and December to get their act together, because they're not supposed to be submitting it till sometime in
First of
January. Okay, and then you're back with us. You have a much bigger handle than anybody I know and worked with on this committee ever on how these numbers turn around and work around. And I would very much hate to lose you from guiding us in the direction we need to go. You've been doing an excellent job. As far as the May 1st is concerned, in early May when you're gone, I sure as heck hope we've got everything wrapped up. And if not, we'll just have to handle it. We should hopefully be pushing this system forward better than last year.
We should.
So therefore, by May 1st, it should be pretty much in the bucket except for a handful of questions.
Right, yeah, and,
Or we should be insisting that it's ready to
yeah,
go.
and the recommendation sheets.
I think we should
Should be-
start earlier than January. I think we should
Well,
start like going to departments almost September. Just to get a feel, because I mean,
I think this year is gonna be important, so it's kind of, one of the items that I have on the agenda for tonight. Is at the end, is setting agenda items for
for
going,
departments or.
going forward. You know, so it's not specific, but that's
Mhm.
that's the time to start talking about, you know, what do we wanna do? One of the things we usually do at the end of a year is a prior year evaluation of, what went well, what didn't go well, what can we
Well,
do?
that won't take long.
Um, no, but it gets to what can we do, you know, how can we do better, what, and work in a budget session, so, you know, it comes over from my professional career, or every time you were done a project, you'd go back and say, if we do that kind of project again, what can we do better? It's kind of like, and what were the pitfalls we hit? How do we get
I
there?
was told that by the time you leave in November,
Hmm.
everybody out there, as far as the department heads are concerned, know exactly what we want when we come back in January.
And they'll be working on it and preparing it.
Exactly, give them 2 months to get the act together.
Mhm.
And, but at the same time, hopefully they will know what we want from them, we'll have an agenda to send to them. That's my
Yeah.
opinion. So,
Oh,
So it sounds like it's not a strong. Get somebody to replace me for.
You're irreplaceable.
you are in a lot of
That's
sense.
not what this is about, it's really, you know, that piece, but,
Because you're so good with the numbers, so much.
Yeah, no,
Well,
there's
there's
your
a lot of-
ability to dance around Excel. Um,
yeah,
if that were considered fourth year college, I'm still in first or second grade.
Yeah.
In fact, there's so much I don't remember
Right.
about Excel that I have to barely get to it.
and that comes from.
Yeah.
It being part of my job, so.
So it's very important to have somebody in our town who understands how to put these papers, push these numbers around in a way that the average Joe like myself can understand.
Yeah.
You know, what it is that we're talking about. So it is very important, and I don't see any interference with the committee's work with your departing for 2 months and then a half a
Well,
month,
it
whatever.
kinda- Yeah, those,
John, have we had anybody, apply for the 2 positions that are open?
well, Mary
Joan-
Jane got reappointed.
Right,
So that was
okay.
one.
Well, there was one, okay.
And the other, I saw a volunteer form come in, but I haven't seen
Any action on
any
it?
action on it, so it's kind of like,
John Bennett or whatever, Barrett.
yeah, John Barrett's, but I think it came in from, I saw it because of the way they came in, I think it was forwarded to select board, but I thought it was forwarded out, so I'll go back and take a look at that. But the person that submitted was Kathy Sparford, so.
Mhm.
Well, she would have a lot of,
She has many years of knowledge of preparing it, so, and I think it's a good. But it is still, you know, I know sometimes on the. Conflict of interest law, they were talking about, you know, people. Leaving a job and then coming back and taking positions, I don't think a volunteer really falls into that, but.
I don't think so either, what's there, you know? I don't know, I don't want it.
Yeah,
You wanna table it for another month and
and just do continuity of as government and come back to
would
see
that
if
make
we
you
can get
feel
a.
better? Would that be better for you or? What?
It may, it's kind of like, because.
I mean, I know you're traveling a lot, so.
Yeah, and it's not just, yeah.
No, I
not
know.
just To adjacent states, so it's
Yeah.
kind of, But, yeah, so that's gonna be the piece. It's kind of like, so I wanted to make sure we had it. If you're good, we'll set the meeting schedule. We'll set the next meeting and see if we can get an assigned person to the board, get a full board and then go with it. But would anybody else take chairperson with me being support at vice chair? And are we still, still, everybody still sort of too new with that,
Yeah,
the feel? Yeah, it's, I mean, it was a few years before I stepped up and I did it as vice chair for a little bit until we had to restructure again because of people resigning. So that, again, I just started with that just so that we can talk about it, but, the main thing was the amount of time I was spending on it, and maybe it was because it was this year.
Well, I think that, I don't think this year's gonna get any better.
No, but we can start.
Mm.
So it's kind of, the main thing was every time we got a sheet, I would have to identify where the line changes
Right.
were, it's not work, but it's
It's a
repetitive
lot of
work.
work. It is work.
And it takes hours outside so we can come in the meeting and really concentrate on the lines that change. We can really discuss that, so, those are the pieces, and so maybe it is, we need to push back the work,
Mhm.
to the departments and define.
Exactly.
What I call the finance team here, so that they're preparing a document and identifying the lines and showing us what the changes are, rather than us trying to track them down. As we keep on making the changes.
Well, I think this year it was, the communication was tough,
Mhm.
and,
Yeah.
that's why I think that I would like to say that with this, maybe a new process.
Mhm. Yeah.
We
Well,
have to talk to every single committee this year.
Mhm.
It's not like somebody else talked to them and passed it on. We have to physically see them this year and talk to them. What do you think?
Okay, we can try that. Usually the budget message is said to come from Board of Selectmen through.
Well, can it come earlier rather than later? We really need to start.
Yeah, so when
January is not
we
a
get
great
further,
time to start.
yeah, when we get further in the agenda, we'll talk about,
All right.
item 4 is the FY 27 and future budget related topic, so
Well,
we
here,
will take this and,
Start the agenda?
oh, okay, yeah, sorry, I didn't get a chance to print, I apologize, it's kind of like my eyes are still little, say, my pupils are almost the size of the whole body, it's kind of like, I get dilated and it takes me forever
or you just
to
have
come back.
to.
Yeah, it's kind of, I think, I had 2 pairs of sunglasses on, they have these temporary ones that.
Oh, you
in the office,
you give the
And
office.
I wore these, and with the 2, I was finding, driving.
Oh, right,
Yeah, I was gonna say, right.
Especially with the sun.
Yeah, the sun come, I was heading
Yeah.
west, so.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, so I got here, but the screen. Turn the brightness on the screen. But. Okay, with that, that was the committee, sort of committee structure, so we're gonna continue to run. With continuity of government, without reassigning tasks, which means everybody that is in a position stays, right? Where we are. Then we'll revisit in the next meeting. I did put review assignments, the assignments we do from within the finance committee. We have a member on the properties committee, we have a member on the audit committee, and we have a member assigned to the capital planning,
I'm coming off capital planning.
okay? But I think we had assigned, Carol last year.
I know,
Right,
I
and you-
had
and-
to put her
Right,
name.
and you were.
Weren't you capital planning for something
You
else?
were general,
Yeah.
yeah, you would, it's another department or just the general public?
I think I was just general, but,
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I think that,
thank you.
do you want me to stay as the capital planning? It's up to you, I don't care.
We'll take a look. I think, because your term went past, they assigned you. Let
How many years? But
me check.
I thought my term is 3 or 4 years or something.
It's 3 years here, but if that was the first, you may have signed up for a,
Maybe it's in for them.
no, not, I was thinking it could have been a partial. It's kind of like if you were replacing somebody, not the 3 years.
Oh, no, I thought it was a
Okay.
sign for a,
Well,
but I don't know. You can-
Well, you know what? I can't say anything.
Well, I do know that there has been a person who did put out a I guess that would be person at large, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. hmm. Yeah.
Oh, member at large,
Some member at large,
whatever that means.
whatever they need, right?
But let's. Calling up capital planning, I'm sharing up here of you.
Oh.
So we had. Mark Hussey was chairman at large. Now, see, this says Jerry was vice chair and finance committee representative. And Carol says you were there for planning board,
Oh, was I there for planning board? Okay, that could be.
I was there for what?
finance committee.
Okay, and I was there for planning board,
Yeah.
okay. Cause I'll be on the properties committee for planning board.
Anyway. Yep, and so that says 2027, so that must be. What year?
Is that what I'm?
Question for you.
I
Yeah,
think
I
I'm-
assume this comes under committee structure to find
it
out
is.
how do we understand what our term is? I went on the website, I can't even find their names.
Okay, so.
There used to be you go to the website, you go to the finance committee, and it had everybody listed and their term of service.
Okay, so right now, I'm on that, on that finance committee page.
Okay.
Mary Jane was just, reappointed, so that's gonna be 2028 now.
See if I can-
Read it.
What am I?
Okay, Sherry, you are 2026, so at the end of.
Okay.
Town meeting
Town meeting.
next year,
And when.
as is Dave Walker, you are 2027,
I'm putting some in.
as, Sam and I.
Yeah.
So. So you were, it was Dave Walker that came in, it was not a full. Girl. But
He out there?
It's mine.
he's up in 2026, so if he and Jerry's term will expire
Next year.
next year.
That's at the end of the annual meeting.
At the end of the annual meeting is how it reads. If we don't get reappointed, we have been running with the continuity of government, keeping in until such time that appointments and reappointments are done.
So we should check on reappointments in May of 27.
For the three of us.
As I rather.
May of 27 or 26?
You are 26, you and Dave are 26, so next May. And then Carol, Sam and I are 2027.
Okay, thank you for that information.
Okay, that's, just wanted to be
I don't know
sure.
how you found it. I didn't the last time I looked around.
Okay,
Things change, sometimes it's the browser you use, is just, I have, experience.
What browser are you on?
I'm using Edge.
Oh.
Kind of like
Oh, I wouldn't dare.
Chrome, yeah.
Uh.
Yep.
okay.
That's like joining the Soviet Union.
So,
Or carrying.
so Jerry, you're saying you don't want to do capital planning
No.
this year?
I'm not gonna do it this year.
Okay, now, capital planning starts going in December, so I will leave that. If we're holding off on the structure, then we'll hold off on the assignments. Now, I am the one for properties, I can continue being the properties committee representative. Can put that in. I can just read an ink.
I ran out of pens. 3 minutes earlier if I knew they were.
So So and again, you don't actually have to be on the committee, that you're represented. It could be, if we knew someone, from town that wanted to be on a committee, they could represent us and come back and give updates, but, I found the properties committee to be kind of interesting. Learned lots of things, and there's lots more to it.
What's the properties committee? Is it just the town properties owned?
That's the town property zone, we do. The, the directive is, there's two, if the town wants to sell properties, we review it, make recommendations, is it something you wanna save or keep, hold, or is it recommended for sale? The other is, recommend to purchase, if there's a key property that's.
Does that have anything to do with their other properties that come through
The properties that are going through the tax taking process, are reviewed after they've gone through.
Oh, well, yeah, when it's time to.
When it's time and title is cleared and it's gone through the tax title court,
Excellent.
we do see them in it. And, again, the water department last year is an example, they sold the building on Main Street. As they moved into the new building on Harbor Trace. And there were other properties, we went through, we did a full evaluation, and we set, I think it was 9 other properties recommended for sale. Most of them went up, some of them didn't, there were still some hangups when they went back and did the final check in the tax title. But those were sold, and this year, I think they're looking for brownstone recommendations, for the state, so that's a piece of the activity that's gonna go.
Brownstone?
Pretty sure it's brownstone, brownfields.
Okay, let's move on to what we need to.
Okay, yep, okay, so we'll do that, and then the rest of them audit, committee also is in December. So it's kind of like, but I just wanted to bring it up that we have three committees, we are responsible for, having assignments to, and those, okay. Item 2, open meeting law violation. We all received packets today. The first 2 pages is the documentation of the open meeting law violations that have been filed.
So what was the what happened here?
Um,
What was the chase?
At our last meeting, there's. I, in our. On the 3rd page, the lists about 6 areas where. Felt we violated the open meeting law. I have not reviewed these. I understand them, and then there is a box about what we should do. And in addition, I need to file the written complaint with it. We also have received the packet on the open meeting law education, so we need to review again, the open meeting law. The town will be holding 2 sessions.
Yeah, who's gonna be teaching them? Do we know? Be
I
somebody
don't know right now.
from, somebody from the state or just somebody here?
I think I believe it was the, town council, somebody from the town councils.
Are they gonna post it? So
They're gonna post it. There's gonna be an afternoon and an evening.
so we'll be notified when to go.
We'll be notified when it's available, so but they're working on that.
What kind of title will it come from? I mean, like who from?
It will probably come from
I've already
me at this point,
Good.
because it will be forwarded from, the HR representative. It's kind of like, so she has a list of contacts. If she doesn't, she probably doesn't have everybody's email address. So she asks for it to be forwarded, and, I think.
I
You've seen-
prefer that because Harrison had, request for information. It came through in such an addressing format that I kind of ignored it completely until I finally, oh, is that what you want? And that you're really it?
Yeah.
The 2 didn't go together, the Harrison and the name.
Right.
He's the town clerk.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So at the bottom of this big box where it says the text. Whatever, So it has these numbers, 1:24:50.
That's the time in the video. So
The
we
time
hope
in the video that what?
that, these items were hit. So the discussion about wanting a role in the police union contract negotiations was at 1:24 and 50 seconds into the video. And,
Oh, into the video.
right,
Oh, okay.
so, or in other words, into our meeting. So at an hour, 24 minutes and 50 seconds is,
So that's
Start
the
of
one
that
we
first
talked
one.
about?
No,
With-
that's when.
that's when it
because we
started.
wanna look at it.
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
So what's the
Thank you.
results here?
and it was 5 minutes because it went to 1 hour, 29 minutes and 50 seconds.
Okay.
So it started at one,
24:50.
and so that was a
That it's
5 minutes,
5 minutes.
5 minute,
Discussion.
okay. And the next one
And
was
the
that,
next
3
one
minutes?
was 3 minutes,
3 minutes and 50 seconds,
and the next one was
Three,
Uh,
3 minutes,
3 minutes, 30
and then
seconds,
2 minutes.
and 2 minutes,
1 minute,
1
30
minute.
seconds.
and then 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the last one was.
No, there's 3 minutes, sorry, what the 1:53:30 to 1:55 is a minute and a half. The
Yeah,
1:57:00 to 2:00 is 3
3
minutes,
minutes.
oh, 3 minutes,
Yeah.
okay.
and then the last one is a
One
minute.
minute.
How long is the last?
1 minute.
1 minute, from 2 minute, 2 hours on the nose to 2 hours and 1 minute.
Oh, I
Online
see.
video.
Okay,
So but it really, it's the item that we were discussing, we weren't on the agenda, and
Oh,
that constitutes the violation
okay,
of.
so with regrets, is that what we're doing?
We, I didn't wanna take it necessarily right now, I will
Okay.
respond at our next meeting, we'll have a reply. I do believe we wanna publicly apologize for not.
No, I think regrets, strong enough.
Okay. Yep, it's kind of like, and so, we will do that, we're taking training, we're gonna update, and we're gonna try to do better forming the meeting, and all of us have to have the, when we go off agenda, when we're off the agenda topic, if you need to do the point of order piece, and say point of order, we're not in the agenda, and we keep ourselves police in there, so
but
that,
how do you determine,
I,
the segue,
our conversations, yes, sometimes our conversations lead you.
from one topic to another, but it's
Mhm.
on topic in terms of the wide scope of the topic.
It is, but in this case, the agenda items were to review the municipal transfer requests. So when we,
And so all these things during this,
during these times that are indicated,
so that was during a half hour, right? No, tell me how long that
last-
took, from 1:24 to 2:01.
yeah, that's 37 minutes total.
So we were
So the-
off topic for 37 minutes.
Different topics as we were continuing through, so, yeah, it's kind of like, but this,
Wow,
but that was, but that's what.
such attention to detail.
That's why
That
we have,
person should be on FinCom.
No,
yep, it's kind of,
So,
so, yes, we will go
so we were
back.
asking about what?
We were doing the municipal transfer requests.
Oh, right,
And-
right.
Right, so, and then as we probably thought it was an adjacent topic as we were going, okay, we're moving this money, how do we prevent it from going forward? And then
yeah.
see the other
It was
subjects,
like that.
so it's kind of, so,
So, I mean, it's hard because once you start going into these things.
Well, makes you almost
they-
want to talk.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to shut us up, this is perfect.
but
Time us.
it's not about that, it's about trying to keep to the
to the
topic,
agenda, but,
the agenda and topic at hand.
but unfortunately, sometimes the agenda topics kind of
Yeah,
raise
it binds in.
questions.
Well, that's what I'm
Right,
saying.
right.
And because a lot of us are new
Mhm,
and we're trying to learn,
right,
and we start asking questions that might be.
Here's the problem. That's what we are, that's the meta message we're getting from Townsend. Don't ask questions. That's the meta message.
Right.
But you know, as newbies and we're trying to learn and we're discussing
You're
without.
broken the rules by answering the question. They're not getting it.
It's not asking questions that's a problem. It's kind of like, it's when we go off topic, we were trying to approve those, but the
Okay.
topics that we rolled into were negotiating in the contract, you know, it's kind of like,
Yeah, but what about the DLS?
that's on.
This to complain about talking about the DLS
Okay,
for financial
That was-
review or audit as
but that,
doesn't relate to the
Isn't that a job?
transfers?
I think, to be honest with you, I think that was not, but I believe at that part, I'd have to go back and review it. I might have been talking about our correspondence at that point, because I talked about submitting an email to DLS and DOR requesting their help. And, it was Bobby Joe got back and said, at that point, she wanted to go one-on-one with her manager, me, and so it could have been that. I want to go back and visit it.
Oh,
But it was brought up, it should have been brought up in the correspondence. And that's the piece. If that's the correspondence and that's what I'm replying to, that particular one might not be out of whack. But if it was brought up in relation to one of the transfers, then
Very good.
it may have been.
Well,
I'm sitting at home and all of a sudden I realize myself, wait a minute, there's the lease sign.
Down here that I kind of have a question, I am urging the treasurer to check unclaimed state funds. How long was that?
Again,
33.
it might have been,
I
I
mean, it
was,
must have come up in topics, so how do we get that far?
I need to go back and read this, because again, correspondence, and it's about the same time, is I was updating information because I had sent email to the treasurer, the accountant and town administrator saying, hey, I found these on findmassmoney.com. And so we had asked, and there was a question back, was there any reply?
I don't think that's a bad question, though, I mean,
well,
No.
I think one of the things is that we should know, before we go following the rest of these rules, we should probably each look at these. And if we really wanna understand how we're in violation, if we look at them and then discuss how did it come about as a natural byproduct of the actual topic,
Mhm.
and we're just being put to the fire, or were we really whacked? You know, were we really
Right.
whacked out of line and just like, oh, just talking
maybe
about
a little
anything?
of both.
Right,
It may be
and that's the thing, that kind of like,
we started the conversation in relation to
something
The
that we were talking about.
transfers that we were talking about. And then it kind of developed from there.
But
So
isn't that how a discussion works?
I agree
it
with
is,
you
but
to a point, but I'm sure that
we,
powers to be have a little different, you know.
Well, I
It's-
guess we have to
it's-
know what those rules
no,
are.
right, and that's, we have this and that, the open meeting law, we're gonna look at it, or review it, we're gonna get the training.
But I wanna
Um,
tell you.
We need to be,
On the
Yeah.
open meeting law, if you don't take it in person by the state, it doesn't count. You don't get a certificate that says you've done
Oh,
okay, so we have to do that.
oh, you mean if we take it with the town council?
it. Right, you don't get a certificate.
Well, then,
Well, I'm more of
then it might be the state is gonna come in.
Well, that's what we need to see, if it's a
Yes.
state or if.
I'll go back and review
Well, I would
that.
prefer to take it from the state.
Well, I would
than
too.
some local.
It was-
Then you have to do it once and you get your certificate,
Yeah.
It-
And
it
then you're
wasn't-
done.
then you're done, you're done.
Oh, okay, so how do you do it through the state? Is it
Well, right
online?
now you can go online.
on that
That
website.
doesn't answer all the questions. That's why it's important to have
And
somebody.
that's why there's gonna be the questions, and if we have these as examples, we can say, you know, we were discussing this topic and we went here. But I can see,
I can't believe that no one else violates the open meeting law if it's that strict.
you would be surprised, if you wanna go online to the town website, you can see all of the open meeting law violations, and you can see all the requests.
Oh, you mean it happens a lot?
Yes, this is just our first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, this is not just, you know, it's kind of like, it happens, it happens quite a bit. It's kind of, and so in this particular case, I do see them, but in the other cases, I do run that question, was I talking about correspondence at the time?
Well, see,
So-
that's what I think we have to
so,
look
okay,
at this.
and we have to go back and look at
See
the
what
video.
it is, because we'll never learn unless we see what
Right.
they are saying we did wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
We don't talk about it all
Well, that
night, but
correspondence should be sent until we,
I don't think we should be responding to
No.
anything until we've
So
seen what we've
yeah,
done
yeah.
and understand it.
We have 2 weeks to respond to the request.
So what's the response?
It's- Well, we have to there's-
Apologize for allowing each other to discuss non-agenda topics.
Yeah, so that's the piece that I was talking about, please, you know, if we hear something that we're getting off topic about, please say, you know, point of order. We're not on the agenda item. And
Yeah, but that's what you're saying to cure it.
that's how we do a corrective action. Yes, it's kind of like, and again. It's kind of like my history coming back. ISO 9000 was that. How do you do something? You have a corrective action and a preventive action. So we can't correct something that's already passed. So that's where the apologies need to come in. The going forward, how do we correct our actions that created
What
the
I don't
violation?
understand
And
is
so-
if we didn't know we were doing it,
Right. and
why
now-
would we apologize? Why wouldn't we just say,
regret.
we regret that you interpreted our conversation that
That
way?
our conversation went.
But, okay, we'll try to do better.
Right.
Well.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't do it on purpose, did we?
I don't believe so. Again, it's kind of, it
Yeah.
comes to the newness of, 50% of the board members in this room are still within the first year of joining the committee. There is a learning process going on.
Gotcha, okay. So Big
All-
Brother's watching us, we gotta be careful.
Many times. We have had a lot of meetings and we've had great conversations because there's a lot of questions coming in.
We're gonna stop now.
We will continue, we'll find, we will, make agenda items that we can talk about old business, new business. I think that's part of it, is building an agenda that helps us structure it and get to those points of, do we, and do we want, how do we address it? And I tried to address that today in today's agenda, saying that we're gonna have a discussion on the FY 25 budget, the FY 26, and the FY 27. So if we happen to talk about the FY 27 budget, and that's gonna include new contracts, how do we go about it? Then if we're gonna talk about it, that's gonna be the section we talk about it in.
Okay, so that's another question.
Yep,
So if you talk about these things that are not in a specific agenda, 1, 2, 3 box, are you breaking the open meeting law?
you do if you talk about them out of order. It's kind of like, and that's the piece, that's why in the beginning, and you've probably heard me, in some of them, I want to take this item before another item. Or if there was something that came into the inbox, just prior to the meeting, within the last 24 hours, I say, I'm gonna insert an agenda item. So those are the pieces, and I try not to insert too many, because it can be seen as a pattern. Oh, always adding something at the last minute. And so it's a surprise and you're not there. So for tonight's agenda, it was updated Monday, I think. I sent it Monday, and so maybe Tuesday morning I sent the update. So it was posted at least 36 hours.
So I understand the posting of the meeting. Does the agenda have to be posted simultaneously, or can you just bring the agenda to the meeting?
It needs to be posted. That's the idea of the open meeting law and posting 48 hours before the meeting. So the open meeting law says you have to have an agenda posted at least 48 hours before, unless it's an emergency.
Oh, so it's not about the date of the meeting, it's about the agenda.
It's about the agenda being
Okay.
posted 48 hours before the meeting. The emergency piece, there are exceptions, like when we had to do recommendations and we were within the window of 24 hours of the town meeting, we weren't done, so we were able to say, the emergency is, we have work to do and it's not done yet, and we have to have it done by tomorrow. So that was an emergency piece that we posted, and it was only posted 24 hours, not 48 hours.
And then my last question is, does this relate only to votes not taken or to all discussion? Of votes to be taken?
I think it's all discussion, because if we have an agenda item that says we're gonna discuss an item and we're not gonna vote on, even though there's no vote, but if we're gonna talk about it, it needs to be there, and it should be on the
So
agenda.
how do you know to control the
Somebody's gonna
discussion?
say, out of point of order.
Right, point of order, yeah, it's kind of like we need to,
But if a discussion leads to
If it goes on.
if it goes to a different subject, then.
a completely different subject.
Right, yeah, right, so again, we'll take the first one, on here with the discussion in the, for. Wanting a role in the police chief contract negotiations, we were here on July 9th to approve. The
The
transfer,
transfers of money.
there were no transfers on the agenda for the police department, so how do we get, it's kind of like, it was.
All right,
The
okay.
the
all right,
questions
all right.
yeah.
led us to a place
That was outside
outside the bounds of.
of, okay,
Discussion.
okay,
Right,
Alright.
so that's, it's kind of like, it's like your yellow lines and your white lines.
yeah,
It's kind of like on the road in your car, and you're gonna be trying to drive your car down the road. You can edge over and you feel that nudge from the car and your steering wheel now, but if you go totally out, you're out of bounds. It's kind of like, and it's, you're out of. Yeah, you're out of the bounds of, you're out of the lanes that you're supposed to be in. Where, and so that's where we're talking about the
okay.
open meeting law, where you can. So there's a lot of, I'm hoping even this discussion.
I don't even know if we're violating it right now.
I think so, because
We started going over the bumps.
Yep. Yep.
We should go here to section 2, 6, 1
Mhm.
and say, I'd like this added to, I'd like to see this discussed at the next.
There you go, that's exactly.
Because I've got something that I raised once already, I really wanna raise it, and we'll talk about it when we get there.
Mhm. Yep, but that's a perfect thing, and that's why I have on the agenda for tonight is agenda items for next week. So if we were to stumble on something tonight that was not on the agenda, I could say, when we get to item, 2.6, that's when we'll add it to that and discuss it next week. Are we all good?
I think,
I was gonna say, what's but I will take a look at our time frame is.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dave.
Oh,
I'll go make you a copy.
I mean, as much as I'm sure we did not mean to violate open meeting law, but we.
There.
Well, but I guess we probably did.
Right, yeah, so,
I'm not arguing with that, I just, then I was within a year of joining this committee, I kind of felt I lost my citizenship when I joined the committee. And this is one of the reasons here.
yeah,
Um,
so I'll continue down the path, find out if and get the response. And, again, I didn't think, because this was the first time the committee's seeing it, I didn't think it was appropriate to immediately say. We need to apologize, it's kind of,
Okay.
So,
yeah, we didn't do it intentionally.
No, that's fine.
no, it's kind of,
Whatever the answer is, was not
Yeah,
intentional.
let's move on.
So-
okay, moving on. Meeting minutes, and I apologize, just kind of like I did plan to do it today, and with my eyes dilated, I couldn't. see.
Okay.
So. Lauren,
Is this off topic? I thought that Carol, you're not doing minutes anymore?
No,
well,
no,
no, it,
we, there's
continuity covered.
no, there's plenty of minutes, it's just they haven't been approved.
We haven't been approved, we.
We haven't been approving them because we've been on other things.
Oh,
So there's a backlog of minutes that have
Oh.
to be approved.
Right.
They're all written. I mean, I had all the
Oh,
mittens up
right,
to the
so-
last meeting.
oh,
They're
So-
all done. They just,
oh,
So,
Approve it next time.
yeah, that's the piece, it's kind of like, so we, the discussion is, you want to see them in email and review them before you commit, does that make?
Get practical,
ours, yeah.
that's the best way.
Okay.
I'll have a chance.
So we'll go back
And
and,
all the things in the world that they will probably take them.
Sounds
Yeah.
good, yeah.
right, and again,
Out to
if there's a question on anything, you can go back to the videos on YouTube
Mhm.
and review it and double check if you think there's something. It's kind of like, and again, that's the beauty of this is, and I know Carol did that on the Saturday when we had the budget summit. She went back in and watched the YouTube and finished the minutes for the budget summit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, so they're good for both.
So there's probably maybe 10 minutes or
There's at least, yeah,
there's probably about 10
probably at least 10.
that haven't been approved.
Okay, we'll next time.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
But can we vote to approve them in a block, or do we have to approve them one by one?
I think it's best to approve them one by one,
Okay.
because again, if you do, it's kind of, if,
Oh, that's fine, they're just for completeness and clarity, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
right,
Okay.
it's kind of,
There's no right, you can do it.
yeah, well, it's kind of like, if there's no changes to any, it's kind of like, so yeah, I suppose we could do it in a block.
No, let's do it one by one and be,
I mean, I know on the
It's-
planning
it's
board,
gonna
we
be-
do them in a block if there's no changes.
And that's what I was just gonna say, if there's no changes, if there are some with changes, then we can do that as
Yeah.
okay,
we pull them out of the block. So,
Where are we now? When-
okay, we're on
Right,
budget
25.
process review, the FY 25.
Okay.
I know this, I put this on because Dave had asked to take a look at it. I did email out everybody the BVA. I
Yes.
requested it from.
unfortunately, I didn't print it out, so
Who asked that we review this?
I did.
Yeah, Dave,
Oh,
Right, Dave.
Okay.
What's the BBA?
again,
This-
the budget variance,
Hey.
Report.
Um,
I mean, so the reason
right,
the reason that I asked was I had seen posts in different places
mhm.
that we supposedly had 500,000 unexpended money either through unexpended budget items or increased revenues, one or the other. It didn't, they didn't, somebody just said, oh, I heard we had, and so I just wanted to see that.
Yeah.
And in looking at the BVA, looking through the BVA, I went to the bottom line and I did see that basically there was a little over 500,000 of unexpended funds total from the budget. But the other thing that I saw was based on the budget that we had, which I think was like 27 million or something like that,
Mhm.
we still expended, I think it was 97 or 98% of what we budgeted. Right, so to have an unexpended portion that's less than 5%, I don't really see as a big issue. Right now, if we had taken in, say, 10% more revenue or had spent 15% less than we budgeted, then I would consider that an issue. But the fact that it's less than 5%, I mean, I know the state wants us to budget so that we don't go into deficit.
Right.
And we achieved that last year,
Right.
not expending $500,000, and and it wasn't like there was one department that didn't spend five. It was spread through the whole thing, this department maybe had 5,000 left over, this department, had maybe 100,000, I think
It was,
some apartments had close to 100,000 left over, but the departments that had the higher amounts were also the departments that had the largest budgets.
Right.
Right, so percentage wise, it was pretty consistent. I don't think there was, there might have been one or two departments that didn't expend anything, but when I looked at what it was, okay, that made sense. You need to budget for that, but it didn't necessarily happen this year.
like
And it
animal,
was like $1,000 or something like that. So it wasn't like it was a huge amount of money.
like animal
Right.
inspector.
Yeah,
We have to budget, if we have an animal
We have to-
inspector, it's.
right. And we didn't have one last year, so that money
Yeah.
did
Oh,
not get
that money.
expended.
Is, so it's showing zero expended, but it's
Right.
$1,200.
Right, it was a small amount, so I didn't see, I did look through it and. I didn't see anything to me that raised any alarm bells, it seemed like, okay.
But-
Different years you expend on different items, a little more, a little less,
Mhm.
there were some line items that were overspent in certain departments, but almost without fail. that department had line items that were underspent to balance it out. So I didn't see anything that made me say, oh, this is an issue. Everything I saw said, okay, this looks like it's in the normal ebb and flow of things.
So are you saying that $500,000 is coming back every year because of?
No,
Well, I don't know about every year, but I'm saying, but this year we'll get $500,000 in free cash from that.
if it gets certified.
If it gets
The-
certified.
The other part is, there was a second file that, the accountant forwarded
But I
over.
didn't understand that one.
Yeah, I have to look at the details of it. Basically, it's unpaid bills. If you have an invoice that you haven't paid yet, the money has to be encumbered in this budget and paid from it. So it's kind of, so if somebody had a bill that came July 15th for last year,
Okay,
that money had to be accounted for and then spent on the FY 25. So
okay.
the money you can put it sort of,
Now, were those bills covered in the BVA? Do you think?
no, because they haven't posted yet. So when that,
Okay, you're not making it now.
Okay,
yeah,
no,
okay,
that's
but
what all
every
these
town
other
meeting-
things are.
right, yeah,
Okay.
and again, I have to go in and take off. So if you have a bill for $1,000 that you owe to a vendor,
Right.
Yeah.
but you're not gonna pay it until you cut the checks on July 20th, because it didn't come in until July 12th. It's kind of like, you can know it's coming in and encumber the money
Mhm.
on your FY 25 and then pay it. From the,
Because even though
Oh,
it came in
that's
26,
complicated.
you
You
still have
spent it
to
in
use
25.
25.
And
so
where
you
do
have
these
to use
old
20
bills
of that
come from
money.
at the beginning of every meeting?
Those are the ones that were not anticipated. So you'll see, sometimes we have in special town meetings, you'll see pay prior year bills.
Mhm.
So those are the ones that are total surprise, not something you submitted a purchase order in June and didn't get the bill in June. You knew you were gonna have to pay that bill, but it didn't come in before the end of the fiscal year. So you encumber the money so that you.
So that's what that second file was.
The second part, yeah, it's kind of like, it's not a lot of
Okay,
detail that I can pull out.
so then the 500,000 that we wind up with is gonna get reduced by those
By the
bills.
encumbered money.
Okay, and there was a fair amount of encumbered money in there.
Right. So
So-
is it, there was a lease that the the lease payment was meant for 25 and it didn't come in, so that money is, I don't know what all of them are. I'll
Yeah.
go back to Elizabeth and.
Well,
and
I
see.
think that's a good question because the $500,000,
Right,
if it's every year. You're saying it's not an accurate number.
Well-
I'm just trying to balance it against the override they asked for. If they really had $500,000 coming back, are we over budgeting and is that a savings
we,
technique, strategy?
well, it's not necessarily a savings technique, and again, to Dave's point, there wasn't a lot of lines, that were there. I'm just gonna jump all the way back up to the beginning. It's kind of like, and I've got it displayed. Where, and we see the net. So the first line for town administrator. We see the original budget was 129,000, the adjusted budget was 129,000, and they actually expended 103,371. So there was 25,628 left in that account. But if we look at this temporary help line, it was overspent by 14,500. It was originally budgeted. My belief, I would have to go look at the postings in these accounts. My belief is that when we had a temporary town administrator, he was paid out of the wrong account. He was paid out of the temporary help account rather than the town administrator line.
Oh, okay.
So
But you don't know that for sure.
I don't know that for sure, but knowing the year we went through, that makes sense to me.
But we should confirm that.
We can confirm it. We can ask for the postings to those accounts.
I mean, because we can't make
But-
assumptions.
No, we can't.
I mean, we can make assumptions, but we really should have confirmation.
Right.
So,
I mean, 'cause
So,
what if it isn't?
but-
What if,
What if it's something else?
yeah.
Right, that they had a lot of temporary help and they overpaid the temporary help. But knowing that we had a town administrator that was temporary help and knowing that his salary isn't low.
But wouldn't we
It-
have caught that in the BBA as we go through these on a monthly basis? If we did it on a monthly basis?
Right. Yes, we should, and they can do journal entries and move money around if they wanted to. But that's the big one, the other is,
What's this, the one down below where it says is that vacation?
other vacation, buyback and travel,
Like that. Oh.
vacation buyback.
Oh, so somebody,
So-
so they're buying, somebody leaves and they buy him back vacation?
Again, if I were to take a look at this, I would say that it was a number entry error. Because that, my understanding is we created that line when Jim Kreidler was leaving and that's how the vacation buyback
I don't understand that.
was done.
It's been back for a long time.
He has, but you have a line that's active.
Why do you get rid of it?
We have to talk to town administrator and say, there's lines that we shouldn't be posting to. This one had $0 budgeted. That 2004, but if you look at the vehicle allowance for the town administrator, it was $2,000. We haven't touched that line. It's kind of like, so $2,000.04 versus 2,000. I'm thinking that it should have been posted to the
Oh,
vehicle.
I see what you're, oh.
He's thinking it's posted to the.
Yeah,
county
yeah,
account.
I get what he's doing, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's dangerous too.
It is,
Yeah.
but I'm sure he got his vehicle allowance. And so we're also, you're gonna find it, it's kind of like, these are the things that. Paying close attention to a budget, we need to look at, so.
But Don, don't you think it would be easier for us if we see it every month rather than some one thing at the end of the year that keeps
Right,
changing
yeah.
every time?
Yeah, and again, we had been seeing them, but not necessarily, we had a lot of things we were doing, we looked at the BBA, but I don't think we looked at it. to the
Yeah, we
kind-
looked at everything at the end.
Right.
How quickly at the end of I don't know, is this an appropriate topic to discuss?
Oh, yeah, you don't even
We're
want to
talking
talk
about
about
the
anything.
BBA and we're.
Okay,
talking
so
about-
how quickly at the end of, after the end of a month is the BBA ready for review?
According to the last account, it was 10-11 days, depending on whether it was, where the 10th fell. Whether it
Okay,
was a weekend or not.
okay,
It kind of,
so cause I agree that we should be looking at the BBA every month. But then that would also tell me that we wanna schedule our monthly meetings accordingly, so that we can look at them
Mhm.
essentially as soon as they're available.
Right.
Cause if we have a meeting on today, okay, well, last month's BBA is not
Right.
available.
Yeah, you're talking,
Right.
you're looking at June's BBA,
Right,
not July.
right.
But that's better than seeing the end of the year, you know.
But this-
Yeah,
But timing wise, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the June, this BBA we're looking at for 2025 was the end of June. And that's all we have right now. We wouldn't have July of 2026 done because it's
Because
not
it's too
actually
soon.
done to the month, it's too soon. So so this is the most recent one based on the posting.
So you're right, we have to have the meeting after,
After the posting is done
The
and enough time
posting's done,
for
yeah.
review.
so,
And enough,
Right.
you don't wanna get it and then have a meeting the next day, it's kinda, we need to set a meeting. Later.
A week later.
The 17th, somewhere between the 17th and there, so you have a week to look at it.
okay, that's it,
Okay, so
I would-
I have a question.
okay.
So this is, I forget where it is, but it's facility wages seasonal help. So,
Facilities?
facilities,
Oh.
yeah, okay, facility wages seasonal help. So they budgeted $3,000. But they went over budget by $12.59 and
Yeah.
40 cents.
Right.
So I guess my question is, if they have a budget of $3,000 for seasonal help,
Mhm.
who authorizes them to go above that budget? Like, do they hire extra people? They work
Mhm.
more hours? Is there like a check and balance where you hire, you say, okay, I have seasonal help and I base my budget on so many hours, that's whatever the
Right.
rate of pay is.
Yeah.
You come up with that number. Now, there might be a time when you have to, for some reason, something happens and you need extra work, but
Mhm.
is somebody actually like saying, okay, um, somebody's saying, I need this guy to work extra hours, it's gonna cost, they go to somebody and somebody says,
Like-
yes or no, and how we're gonna budget that. And when they then go, where it says adjusted budget line,
Mhm.
if it's been approved, say prior approval before they work it, wouldn't you go into that adjusted budget line and say, okay, I'm gonna increase that budget line, because I've seen other places where they have increased the budget line. So I guess my question is there somebody actually overseeing?
Yeah.
Somebody working
Mhm.
over and above what's
Right.
budgeted?
They'll do it on a department by department basis. I would expect the department head is doing it. If you look, the temporary help, the line above it, was underspent by 2,227.
Mhm.
So again, his net or his help, whether it's temporary or seasonal, is within the budget. You'll see on the total for their budget, they spent 99.01%.
And I get that.
So it's kind of like, so they don't, and the question about the adjusted budget
Hmm.
is not within the year to year and adjusting it. That is done at town meetings when we approve.
Oh, okay, so it's not within the department.
That's not within the
Yeah,
department.
that was like a special case last year because we had that August town meeting, right?
Okay,
Right, so, well,
Or I guess we could have that happen again in, say, November if we have a special town meeting.
let's go back up to the very top. To Board of Selectmen. And we'll look, Community Services Coordinator line. The original budget we passed in May was $20,000. The adjusted budget is $9,184.36. We did a transfer at the end of the year to move 11 or
Yep.
$10,860.
yeah.
Right, so this adjusted line was either something done at special town meeting
Okay,
or within the limits of the transfers in the last 2 months of the year and the first 15 of the next one. And that's why I wanted to be, more training. But that's that's not for a department head to move money.
oh, okay, so
now-
that's all done in town meeting,
That's-
that adjusted line, pretty much.
Pretty much, it's kind of like there may be times where a department head can do it, but it's the same time constraint. If it's within it, so we're doing it when it's outside the budget of one department to another.
Okay,
So that's what we're doing, is department to department. The department heads can do it when it's within that time frame window, but it's in their own department budgets.
The municipal transfer, you're saying.
Yes, it's a municipal transfer, but because it's in their budget and they're moving one line to another in their own budget, they don't have to come to us with a transfer form. Because it's. within
Okay.
Yeah, we
budget.
don't know that.
Yeah.
okay,
It's kind of, yeah, so it's sort of a reminder, it's kind of like we did
Yeah.
different things.
all right,
But yeah, so those, when you see a change like that, it's either a special town meeting article, that added money to a line, if necessary. Move money, or the municipal transfers generally.
okay,
Um,
Okay.
and I say that, and it's kind of like, there are a couple of other exceptions to that. Like, we have the election line, there was a special town meeting that set up $22,000 for elections.
Mhm.
So they only budget $8,000 a year for elections now, but when you have an extra election or a special election, you have to draw that money, so you move it from this other budget line that's not in the BBA and add it into the BBA. So again, that was done at town meeting, we set up that 22,000 to say it's for elections, and then the court needs it to pay election workers, they transfer the money from that account in. So There are
Okay. No,
those are the major exceptions that I can think of, and how money would move. So, and if I get to the bottom line, as Dave was talking about, the total accounts is, the total expended was 27,520,832. With that, 507,368.91, minus any encumbrances, but it was 98.19%. So the budget was, let's call it 1.8 from being accurate, 1.8%.
You know,
But we don't know that until all the bills are.
We don't
paid.
know until all the bills are paid and this is certified by DLS or DOR, however you.
So let's just do an assumption. Are we allowed to do an assumption or is that off topic?
An assumption for 2025?
Yeah.
Okay,
So specifically to that 500,000.
yeah,
So if that 500,000 after DLS certifies it,
mhm,
turns out to be 400,000, just say.
Yep.
So that means we have that 400,000 that's gonna come back at the end of the year
it will.
as free cash.
it will.
And had the override passed and our taxes would have increased, that would have not been necessary, correct? If the accounting had been more accurate. Am I missing something here?
No, if you could budget to the penny,
No, I understand to the
Yeah.
penny, but
and
I think
But-
$500,000 is a lot more than a penny.
well, if you're talking the 400,000.
Right.
The other part that we don't necessarily talk about is snow and ice overage. From this free cash,
Oh,
we then pay the snow and ice overage.
okay, so this 507,000 doesn't include the snow and ice?
But that's the FY 26 snow and ice overage. We're gonna use this
Oh,
free,
okay,
we have,
okay, so whatever this free cash for 25 will be used in 26 to pay the
snow
snow
and
and
ice.
ice, okay.
Which is why we
Right.
cheated ourselves when
Okay.
When we use,
we
The 200.
reduced the snow and ice for this year.
well, we, I don't-
because we know we're getting it back, so it is a strategy.
no, it's kind of like we budgeted the same in FY 26 that we had in FY 25.
Yeah,
Which is the wrong thing to do.
It is, but with the snow and ice, if you happen to over budget and put more money in, you can never, you can't subtract it in FY 27 if you over budgeted in FY 26.
Okay.
So
Okay,
you're always trying to be, you're trying to be
You have to, excuse me,
precious within the window, yeah.
if you go back. So when I first got on the committee 1,000 years ago,
Mhm.
you will find I've heard that story over and over and over again.
Mhm.
And we still get in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Of additional snow and ice. I don't remember
We do.
any number below 6 digits. Ever for snow and ice. So therefore, we're trying to get to a medium somewhere
Mhm.
that. A reality snow and ice minimum is kind of understood.
Right,
And even if you don't spend it that year, for whatever reason, we don't have that much snow and ice.
Mhm.
You still need it next year because that was a freak year.
exactly, and so.
You'll never get that low, but nonetheless.
Right, and that's the piece, I have seen, I thought maybe one year was 91,000, but it's close enough to
Yeah.
100,000. It's kind of like, we've probably been between 100,000 and 300,000 or
Yeah.
350. But if
This
we take FY 26, which is the next item on the budget, if we take FY 26 snow and ice or the rest of the budget, I don't think you're gonna have $500,000 at the end of FY 26 to pay FY 27 snow and ice.
but won't it
My
be in the budget? Won't it be in the budget that we paid?
Okay, so the amount we put in was, let's say, $220,000 short this year. It's kind of, or FY 25 was 220 short. We had to take 220,000, 200,000 was from free cash, 20,000 was from the reserve fund
Right.
to cover the snow and ice deficit for FY
So if there's money left over from the 500,000 and it's for snow and ice,
There'll be some that goes to snow and ice, the rest you would like to put into stabilization funds would be a nice place. You could put some into capital stabilization. There are places that it can and probably should go, but we as a town haven't put together a strategy that says, if we have extra money, pay snow and ice, and then put some money into these budgets so that we will have money for capital project. It's kind of like,
I remember.
so,
so
I remember
it's kind of
a while
like, and we shouldn't use that to fund the next year's
I forget what all the extra money is.
operating budget.
so is snow and ice a special item
It is, snow and ice is a special item, it's the only one that can go negative in your account.
on there?
And
So that's the.
So
It- Yep.
showing the last page, there's brought up a question.
Yeah.
What is that last item? Transfer out of capital project funds.
Okay, so the capital planning team got together and they came up with a list of recommended capital projects to purchase.
Okay,
There was 93,990 in the capital stabilization fund. All of that money was transferred out to pay for the things that were in that capital budget, or the capital planning recommendation.
so does that mean the capital
Stabilization,
stabilization fund now has zero?
that's what it looks like.
Okay,
Yep. It's kind of like, so that's
what's
why
the purpose of the capital stabilization?
to fund capital projects that come up that are approved. So it's kind of like, so that's why I say, if there's extra money here, we took 90,000 out, would it be nice to put at least 90,000, probably 150,000 in for the big capital?
That's where it used to go. As soon as you said equipment, then I remember,
Mhm.
you took out whatever you needed for the excess of snow and ice.
Yeah.
And then the remainder of the free cash went into possible new equipment,
Mhm.
like
Right.
whatever you capital stabilization or whatever.
And we have been drawing, and we did again, from the regular stabilization.
Mhm.
So we've taken that, so if we had the ability to put back in. So again, we look at this time.
We had it,
Yeah.
but I really, you talk about this piece of booklet that you've handed me, and I'm remembering back to the $200,000 that was taken out of, town meeting, and I'm trying to figure out, how can you do that, and we can't have a discussion that's slightly off topic, and
Well,
it's taken off topic by the topic we're on.
Because if somebody wanted to talk, to attend a meeting that was about the topic that
Yeah.
you've eliminated them from being because it wasn't on your agenda, so they weren't here to hear.
And that wasn't on the agenda either for the town meeting yet, it happened.
Okay, we gotta get back.
Okay,
on-
no,
We're gonna get in trouble.
back on,
We're gonna
yeah.
we're gonna
Okay,
get
no, no.
another
Yeah,
demand.
I'm just,
Yeah, we jumped,
Careful.
we jumped back to open meeting.
yeah, I know, sorry, but I just, I'm thinking about moving money around.
Um,
Alright.
so this is this piece, the other item, FY 25 budget that, Dave had mentioned that we don't see is the revenue side. And last year, the properties committee recommended selling a bunch of properties. We held the auctions and the property sold. So that is gonna be revenue that was not in the plan. So all the revenue that was put together on that recap sheet did not include the sales of those properties.
Which one?
can we see that information? Can we get that information to review it?
I will see what's available. We should be able to get it.
Because we should be able to see the recap sheet, right?
Yeah, I mean, the recap sheet is one thing, but we're looking for a list of what the property sold.
Right, well, I mean, that seems to part of the budget review would be to look at both of those things.
But see, that's now gonna be your close of FY 25. That revenue is gonna be validated with your free cash
Sure.
in December of this year, so that gets to,
Is that part of the 500,000?
no, that's what I'm saying. That's not part of 500,000, that's
Would
different.
be above the 500.
It will be above
Alright.
this.
So then we have even more money?
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly. Again, it's kind of like it's got to be.
Okay.
This is revenue that was not in the original recap sheet.
Mhm.
But
we never saw the
We never saw
recap
it.
sheet,
I
so
mean, we
we
never
can't
saw
even
it.
speak to that.
Right, and
That was, we
And
were
again,
not allowed to see that.
it, one of the items, and we'll get to it, or.
So
Yeah,
Ron, in other words, when we do these budget reviews,
mhm,
and if we wanna be serious about it, and if we're really representing the town residents, taxpayers, cause it's their money, not
Yeah.
other people's. Shouldn't we be knowing what's coming in and knowing what's going out at the
So-
same time?
so
I mean,
as part of this, not only should we see the BBA, we should see the FY 25 recap sheet.
but
Versus,
every month,
um. Yeah, okay, we'll talk to,
I mean, how do you
It's-
catch things that are wrong if you're not
Right.
like on top of things?
No, yeah, but I just finishing my FY 25 analysis, we should see what the FY 25 recap sheet was. Go visit each line of the revenue, will we plus or minus? And if we have extra revenue for the sale of properties, we can identify it in there and say, you know, this was what we anticipated, this is what the actual was. So, yeah, I'm with you, but you're right, it's kind of like, so. Um, this will be something that I would recommend either we discuss recommendations to select board or we do agenda items for next meeting that we add that as a, we make an item that starts talking about what are the requirements and what do we want to see. Kind of. So,
Okay, so should we go to FY 26? What are we talking about with that?
well, again, I probably mentioned it over the word, I just, we did, FY 26 was a very tough year and, budget year and
It didn't
going.
happen yet though, right?
No, it's now
It
started,
started.
but the FY 26 is the budget we just closed and approved at the end of June.
Oh, I understand that completely. So,
Yeah, so again, I talk about the project analysis, what do we, what do we learn from this? It's kind of like, so I put it here, we can bring it forward to another meeting and
let's
really
do that.
capture things, but I wanted to say, we wanna do the 26 review again. What can we do better? What can we start with? One of the things, especially in, and I'll jump to the next item, 1.4.3.
Watch it.
No, I'm not, I'm
Okay.
just going
Don't
because
get us in
it-
trouble.
all three are consecutive in here. Talking
Okay,
about the FY 27, it's kind of like when we look at the FY 25 compared to FY 26, we didn't fund some lines. We cut them from whatever the number was, say $10,000 to zero.
right, we had to do cuts.
Because we had to do cuts to try to get the original gap amount for FY 26. Your 507,000 that we have here, I think is gonna be a lot lower than that because of the budget we put together, that was put together.
Cause we were more precise.
We were more precise, we cut things, we cut expenses.
Mhm.
We started with cutting expenses.
We weren't reckless.
No, it's kind of like anywhere they thought they could take a cut, no. So those are the pieces, and those are probably what we have to watch in the BVA. What did we cut? And are we spending to FY 25 number? Or are we spending the FY 20?
Oh my God. Okay,
Well, but.
we'll talk about that when we get there, right?
We will, but that's just a that's just a comparison. So if we take it to my home, if I paid what am I paying for cable? $215 for cable. If I said, okay, I wanna cut that line to 200. Well, I didn't drop anything. It's kind of like, so we get to,
So it's still $2.15,
it's still 215,
but you didn't pay it.
but
So you owe 12 times $15 at the end of it.
it could be, it's kind of like, that's the piece. If we said we're cutting how much money I budgeted for it. When we get into the year, is that a line that I should pay attention to? Go over it. The answer is yes.
But don't we have to know what the reasons were that we made the cuts in 2026? I mean, don't we have to know what we were trying to achieve on the 2026 budget?
Mhm. Right,
I don't even know what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say, but I do know what I'm trying to say.
if we cut money, yeah, if we cut money, we thought we could cut it. It's kind of.
Correct, it's not like we just willy-nilly said that's it.
Right.
So there was a reason, there was either
There was-
because we looked at the PBA, or we had reason to believe this wasn't gonna.
Right,
So if there's a deficit, like you said with the example of the cable,
right, yeah,
wow, how do you?
I guess we just, yeah, exactly, and that's why I think watching the budget, excuse me, as we get into FY 26 is gonna be critical. Because you really can't go too far astray this year. It's kind of like,
Yeah, so if we start watching negatives in the BVA, early on,
early on,
then,
you know,
then,
or again, get the BBA and look for something that in the first month is 25%. You versus, you know, something more like an 8%, because it's about 8.5% is if you're going month over month
12 months.
yeah,
to get to 12 months.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, but if something goes to 25, and again, there's gonna be lines that you know are gonna be there. Longevity is paid on anniversary date. It's kind of like, so if it's a longevity line and we pay it in January, yes, it's 100%, it's gone, we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But if it's another line and it goes to that, it,
Like
It-
the
it-
elections
it-
might,
the
for
election,
example, I'm not off topic. I'm
right,
just-
no, we're
Give me an
talking FY
example.
26
Yeah.
elections.
Yeah, because we already had one,
We had one, correct. It's kind of like in FY
and
20.
then we're gonna have another one in October, right, or whenever we have one in the
The fall.
I don't
fall.
think so. That's a special town meeting.
that's a town meeting.
That's like-
Different.
Oh, it's not in the budget.
It is in the budget, but it's only about $300. Because it's only people checking.
That's a different
That's
line.
different. It's, you
Oh,
don't set up for, and it's 7 to 8 or an 8 to 8 day.
Oh,
Checking
oh.
and doing all that work. This is special.
Once it's just,
Yeah.
early voting and all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, yeah. So, but if we get to next year's annual election, because that's the only one, it's not a presidential year, so we're not gonna have a March election.
Mhm.
We don't have elections in the fall this year, for the state.
What drives an override? Would we have an override possibly?
It's a potential, if at a special town meeting, an override article is presented, then you
But then you. have
need a
it
ballot.
They
Yeah.
need the
What
election,
drives the override?
like, I was just thinking.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
reckless spending?
Well,
Yeah, no, it's the question, it's kind of like,
I guess what I was trying to say, well, yeah.
Sorry, we know what you're.
Does, if we look at the BVA
mhm,
and we
Right.
start seeing negatives.
Yeah.
Coming, I mean, does that kind of signal that maybe we need an override, or what actually?
It might
Yeah,
depend
maybe,
on,
maybe.
it might depend on what the numbers are,
might
what the
depend
line
on-
items are.
it's kind of like, but that's the piece, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like there may be things.
But I think in that case, you might be able to at least on the override say, this override is for this line item in the budget for this reason.
Right.
Now, see, that would be very good, because then you could explain to, off topic, okay,
Yeah.
but that would be very good,
No, no,
that'd be very good.
Right, but,
But
but,
only if the money actually goes to that account and doesn't go to the general
Okay,
fund to be
but-
used for
but
something.
if we have, if we,
Mhm.
yeah, if we have, free cash available, that it's not gonna, you know, if there's $40,000 in free cash and you only need $10,000 to move to a line, that's an article.
Okay.
At a special town meeting, you don't need an
Okay.
override vote for that,
Okay,
so.
Okay.
So because there's cash available, if you had a line that was $100,000 over and you only had $40,000, you're now talking about where's $60,000 gonna come from? That, you know, I don't think we'd do an override for 60,000, but
stabilization.
yeah, it's kind of,
Right.
But it's possible.
but it's possible, don't, yeah, and so maybe,
Okay.
you know,
All right.
maybe the number's bigger, maybe it's,
Yeah,
if there's all of a sudden, we need something that's 500,000, we only had 40,000 free cash. So in order to get there, you might need an override.
Okay.
That's when something like that would come up.
Come up.
But just as we're in the elections, next year at the annual in April, we're gonna vote, I believe it was a citizens petition to put, 5 select board members
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
on the, and within a certain amount of time, there's gonna be an election if that passes.
Oh, well,
And so
Right,
that
they have
might,
to have another election to elect the two.
correct.
in April.
Yeah.
But did it fail the last time?
I thought that
Well,
five.
no, it passed at town meeting.
Yeah.
Did it?
Right,
Oh,
it
okay.
passed the town meeting, the five member was an article that passed, you can't have an election until the next annual election
Okay,
on that,
okay.
article that passed.
Well,
So
spring
now,
election, town people. so-
Okay, we're off topic.
well,
Oh.
are we,
I was
okay,
doing
I was
this.
talking about, that's okay.
But is it off topic because then you,
Well,
we need a
tonight
budget
it
for that,
is.
Yeah,
budget
it's
for
be
that.
budgeted.
that needs to go in the budget, that
And
if
again,
if it's in April.
If it's right, but that's where this other account that we moved $22,000 into, he could take, the town clerk could take some of that 22,000 and move it into the elections budget and
Okay.
pay for it.
Okay.
So it's there, but
Okay.
it kind of, but I don't know how quickly. I think it said within 90 days, hold the election. Because after the election, you have to certify the results. If it was close, you're gonna have recount, which recounts cost money, in elections, so all of that.
Yeah.
No,
But I'm
no,
done, I'm done.
I like where you were headed.
Okay, that's.
Okay,
I just have a
off
question
topic,
about
off
mine.
topic, off topic.
Okay,
Discuss
how is
recommendations to
the
select
property
board.
tax done around here? Your house is evaluated by the
Sam,
people that walk around,
Yep,
and,
assessors,
the assessors,
assessors, right?
Yeah.
You know, and they do your house every 3 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but, and sometime in the spring, I don't understand this sets the tax rate.
okay,
Is the tax rate not written in gold and raised every now and then?
we. We set a preliminary tax rate,
Yeah,
which we did, we had to have a budget signed, and then you're able to set the preliminary tax rate. You set a final tax rate in December, and that's why the bill usually goes up sometimes.
I'm not used to that.
In,
I'm used to living in towns where this is the tax rate and it relies on the value of your house. And that was usually in the county I'm from, or the town I was, 2 towns I was from.
Yeah.
That was always a very marginal portion of your that a true value.
Right, yeah.
This town seems to be true value. Zillow
This-
is, if I go to Zillow, I'll get the same answer that the town.
you're getting us in trouble.
Well, I just need to know how we make money to put in this budget that we're talking about.
It's kind of, the preliminary number is set up for your first 2 tax bills for, August 1st and November 1st.
Right,
And then in December, they set the final tax rate. There is a hearing with the assessor and the select board where they set the final tax rate for the year. And then your next 2, are your final bills.
Uh-huh.
And they just, so if you underpaid or overpaid on your first 2 bills, it's adjusted on your next.
right, but I'm talking about the,
But that's
the
February.
rate is, no, it just keeps getting adjusted. In other words, the money that the town gets does not necessarily increase as the value of my home increases.
No, the tax rate is set based on the Proposition 2.5 levy. The levy number. They take the total values of all the houses in town, divide it up and say, this is how much money we can get. And that's why you get, I think it's like
Okay.
1451 right now.
Okay.
In December, they will finalize all of the numbers and say, was
So it's
1451.
only so that the whole total increase next year for this year, regardless of housing value increases, only comes to 2.5% of last year.
Because
Increase.
we voted down the 2.5 override.
Right,
Yes.
but the 2.5 annual without all overrides in the discussion is how the tax rate is set. So that it doesn't increase due to housing values increasing.
No,
The tax rates would if everybody's house doubled in value
Yeah.
over the year,
that,
then they had.
but there was, and then if we did the same tax year over year, your tax rate would be cut in half.
Right,
So it's kind of like, so it's all based on the total value of all of the real
And
estate.
staying
income.
at or under the.
You're gonna get us in
Yeah.
trouble.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
I'm sorry,
Okay,
That was-
so
It's
we're
a budget discussion, it says right here.
The FY 27 and future budget related topics, I had put FY 27 because that's the next budget we're gonna be working on. It's kind of like, and so if we base FY 27 off of FY 26.
Then we need to start earlier.
We need
Yeah.
to start earlier, and we need to compare the FY 25 to FY 26 to FY 27. What did we drop between FY 25 and 26? Are you gonna try to bring anything back? If lines were taken totally to zero, they might be coming back. It's kind of like, or if they're not coming back, good. It's kind of like, it's out of the budget, it's gonna be out of the budget. But that's, yeah, again, probably for the recommendations to the select board, give us the three years and show us what may or may not be coming back.
What can we do to standardize the forms? So, I mean.
Next meeting.
And the data, yeah, so.
I'm trying to keep
so-
you guys on,
Yep,
no,
okay,
I just.
no, but that's the thing, agenda item for next
Yeah,
year.
but-
Have to wait for
Standardized
next year
data,
and-
yes,
Fine.
Well, standardized line items, even if it's a zero negative, yeah.
it's kind of, I'm there with you, it's kind of like, because a lot of times if we go back to it, you'll remember we had spreadsheets that said a line, it was zero, but it said pound NA because they were doing calculations. There's ways not to display pound NA when it's not to be considered, when it's a zero. It's kind of like easy to do. I did it for
I couldn't read a lot of the ones from last year. They were in like 6 point or something like that,
Right.
even with my glasses on, they were outside my.
Right, so, and standardize the forms, but also standardize our output for the board.
David, I suppose, to do what else?
Standardize the forms, you know how the book, they, depending on who printed it, you'd have big numbers or little numbers.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like, and I'm
Oh,
talking about
start standardize the font.
standardize the font, standardize the size. Instead of trying to print it on 8.5,
Oh,
print it on 8.5 by 17. So that it folds in half and you can,
Open it.
Next
Okay.
time,
that's
Yeah.
an FY 27.
yeah,
It's kind of like, it's just, you know, a formatting thing. It's kind of like that, the type of paper to print it on so that you can, you know, printing on 8.5 by 11 is tiny and kind of like 8.5 by 17. You can get all the columns you're looking for, you fold it out and you can make all kinds of notes. I think it's a little,
yeah, and it's to.
Okay.
and again, that's something I would have liked to have done, but.
So that's,
Didn't
we're
have
gonna
time.
discuss that next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
next
yep.
time.
Okay. Yeah. What do you have for correspondence?
I had made a note, I wanted to mention that, I had received from the DLS and DOR, that they plan to come in, they said fall, so I don't have any kind of tight schedule, whether it's early fall, which starts in September, or whether it's late fall, which is December 19th. But their plan is to come in and visit the town. I mentioned that as, do we want to put something on the agenda coming up that we discuss what we want, what our concerns are and what we want them, is there anything we want them to look at?
I think we
Or
absolutely need that
what-
meeting.
What's our expectation?
Yeah,
So,
we need that
yeah.
meeting, the expectations, the outcome, what
Okay.
do we expect the outcome?
Yeah. Yeah.
What,
You can't wait for that meeting.
No, it's kind of, it's, that's the thing, it's kind of like, it's kind of open right now. It's kind of like, there
Yeah.
wasn't much other than, you know, we've received your request, we're gonna come out in the fall.
so we should have our list, at least
I-
as a starting point.
That's what I'm, yeah, like, you know. So
Okay, so
something,
we'll talk about that next time.
something to think about. Yeah,
Okay.
What are we doing, what was the other, oh, you'll tell us, right? You'll tell us on the agenda, don't tell us now, 'cause-
yeah, no, it's kind of like, these are items I'm saying, put on the agenda.
Put on the agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Agenda items for next meeting.
And again, I think, having a standardized agenda that like this, if nothing came in for correspondence, I would update and say nothing came in.
Oh,
And again,
okay.
it's here for anybody that may have received correspondence, because we are an open board. Some people know your email addresses, might talk to you. Want to bring it up at the meeting, this is a correspondence, we'll bring it
Oh,
up,
I see.
I see.
identify it. And if it's a subject it's not on, we'll put it on, it'll be something we put on the agenda for a following meeting. But
One thing I'd like to add to
Yeah.
the agenda
Mhm.
for the next and the future meetings is cash check receipts by department.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Receipts of cash checks.
yeah.
I give a check to a department and I carry it months to months to months. Last year, I carried one all the way to December before I deleted it as an existence because it didn't go into the new year. Lately, I've given a check to another department. My wife gave a check to a different department. It is still not in, and it's been over a month.
they shouldn't be holding them any more than,
But again, that gets to.
well, we
if
can
we
put that
go
on the
back to
agenda.
The audit report, that we had,
Mhm.
talked about, we should have. Controls and reviews of how cash flow is done.
The cash is-
So we should talk about that at the next meeting.
It's somewhere-
We should put that on.
We can put it on, and it
Yeah.
can be a couple of things,
Somewhere between my computer and the town computer,
because
that check does not exist.
that should be a priority, is
And I don't have a receipt to
Yeah,
say, where
it's
come in and
kinda
say,
like-
what happened to this?
And along that, it's
And
kind
if
of,
my wife had given cash,
right,
then it's totally disappeared. I don't know where
Yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah.
Cause I've got enough checks over the years to tell me that it's
Okay.
several lost, and I'm not gonna come in and tell you you lost my money, because if you wanna lose it, fine.
so, yeah, that was one of the auditors, and I believe this is his third audit, and he said it's fun on every audit.
Good, because it should be on our agenda to figure out, figure out who's gonna take care of
It should be on the, again, we'll talk about,
Yep, next time.
the recommendations
Thank
of.
you.
of
Yes,
where-
definitely put it on.
Yeah, because it's not really,
We
we,
talked about this a couple times, we should have it on as an agenda.
Yeah.
Yes.
or to bring forward to, as we do this, the next meeting we put together is.
Thank you.
Put together items that we bring to Board of Selectmen to say, these are things we've seen and heard from reports, and it's kind of like, and we think they're important to.
Be followed up.
kind of.
Go on to next
You
meeting
can
and
copy
the
and paste on
meeting.
your-
Okay, well,
So is next Thursday too early to look at July's BVA, you think? Cause that would be the 14th.
well,
You're really pushing the envelope.
I was gonna say, if we get it on the 12th, that only gives us 2 days,
Yay.
2
So,
days to work.
so then, so, well, so
Go to the next.
next Wednesday on the 20th, I'm flying out for a long weekend.
Okay.
And there you go.
So that's my business.
That's the one, he's going back to Ireland.
No, I'm not going there, but so Tuesday, the 19th,
Yeah.
I would be available.
And I'm gone from the 17th through the 21st.
Jerry? When are you going?
Well, I'm going next week, but I'll be back.
By the 19th?
I'll be back plenty of time by the 19th.
Dave will be going.
I'll be here up to the 19th. I won't be here after the 20th.
Yeah.
And then when do you return?
I return Sunday, the 24th.
So it's like the end of August.
I'm going just short to be.
Sure.
What are you going
I've
to?
made up my mind.
No, you're not allowed to
No, I'm
ask
going,
that.
I'm
I
going to
asked,
visit,
none of
I'm going to
us
visit my sister and her family.
Excellent.
That's nice.
Good, yeah.
See,
It's
he'll
kinda
tell
like
the
we-
guy to do
It's, and some of that's what we do.
I'm always curious, because we never go anywhere. Cause I go into town.
I'm going to visit my brother.
Well, let's get back, okay, let's get back, guys.
All right, so when do we decide?
I don't know, I'm, with all the times out,
When are
and
you gonna be back from the beach, Dawn?
I'm back now.
Oh, yeah, but you'll be going back.
Yeah, but now things got.
When do you close the house up?
They don't.
I don't,
Oh,
They don't.
I don't,
okay.
I'm back and forth pretty regularly.
Alright.
I'm thinking that I heard the select board was trying to get together on the 19th, so, I'm looking at maybe the 26th because the 28th is getting near Labor Day weekend.
26.
26th of August, my
August.
son's birthday is 27th. What day
That's
is it?
Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday?
I can do
I
that.
can do
I
that.
could do that.
26 August, okay.
The 6 o'clock again.
Yeah, 6 o'clock is good, August 26th.
As a potluck dinner, at my daughter's school, I don't do potluck dinner.
August 26th. Okay.
Again, that says if there's an open meeting and PM can do a Zoom.
We're in August, right?
But that's, this is not gonna be a joint meeting with the. with
No, this is us
That's what it is.
with the, yeah,
With the agenda, and reviewing the BVA for July
right, yeah,
is on the agenda, and reviewing the 26 recap sheet is on the agenda.
yeah.
Okay.
Jane?
And the,
And the
No,
other
25 recap,
25 recap, sorry, yes.
oh,
Yeah.
25.
right, because.
Oh, yeah, right,
Right.
okay,
We
right.
just
right.
started 20.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Never
yeah.
mind, yeah.
Because now that we have the numbers, we've,
Well, actually, I mean, let's put the. Can we put the 26, the July recap on there as well, if.
You have it?
Whatever's available for July, cause we should see, we, as part of reviewing the BVA.
Yeah.
Reviewing the
Yeah.
expend, we should also review what came in.
I think
Yeah,
it's very important coming
Um,
part.
right, it's kind of like,
I know there probably isn't gonna be much.
Yeah, but we should start, we should
we
start.
should start, because we all paid our taxes, right? You all paid our taxes?
Yeah, almost one.
I dropped off at,
Pay my bank.
I did drop off at.
We kinda,
Comes out automatically.
I don't know what the timing is for that coming in
BVA,
and deposit. It's kind of like, so that's not on the BVA, BVA,
or not right, the recap.
and it's not a recap, so it'll be talking to Melissa and see
Okay, but we'll,
treasurer.
whatever income.
Yeah.
We can review, let's review it.
Yeah, treasurer's or accounting report for deposits. And I don't want to give any bad information, so maybe just as a update, I'll speak with Board of Health and see where they are with their numbers for people signing up.
Yeah, we should get a status on that as well. Trash update.
Yeah, try.
My ticker just went on today.
I still have to put mine on my,
Did you get yours?
Well, I
I
kept
came in
staring,
and bought it.
I kept staring at the can and staring at the ticker and I wanted to call and saying, is this replaceable if the can ever dies?
Let's adjourn.
It's held together by duct tape.
they said yes.
I don't
May I
know,
make
I
a motion
didn't,
to adjourn?
I just stuck it on and said,
Because we're gonna be in
I
trouble.
got more duct tape.
Okay, yep, we're starting to go.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Time to go
you
home.
may make a motion to adjourn?
May I make a motion to adjourn?
No, I did.
Yep. Mary,
And I second your.
Oh,
Thank
7:44.
Okay.
All in favor?
What time?
We stand adjourned, 7:45.
Thank you.
And we're back here on the 26th at 6 P M.
Yeah, and then we'll do.
And hopefully I won't forget this.
Standard
Next
time.
meeting for there,
yeah, you.
The real time, 1700 standard.
remembering me from that.